Disappointed with the poor progress being made, the Global South at COP25 is standing firm.
4 days, several items that relates to support for developing countries did not see conclusion. In many cases, they either saw Article 16, which means that the negotiations will restart again in next subsidiary bodies meetings in June, or that it was just postponed to next session, which is again in June. Those items include the support for developing countries to report, support for developing countries to implement their obligations under the convention, support for developing countries to even establish the reporting mechanisms under the Paris Agreement.
Article 6, which is under contention, speaks to how Western countries can buy carbon credits towards their reduction targets. This is done by financing adaptation and mitigation projects in the developing world. Africa says some Western countries are unwilling to have serious deliberations on finance.
We have a very sophisticated and complex position when it comes to mobilizing funds. And as I said, there were a few weeks ago $17 trillion in negative yield bond. $17 trillion in negative yield bond sitting in developed countries, where we're waiting for, for real investments on the ground.
With Africa experiencing more and more extreme weather conditions, the negotiators say a deal must also include mechanisms that guarantee funding for loss and damage.
Yes, we see a potential there, but this potential, if it is not included in the outcome, then we are not interested in such an outcome. So our balance is, our view is very clear on this. Either we have through this process the funding, the technology, that we think that we deserve and we should get, or this process can continue for another year. I mean, we are fine with that. So they were also very clear on that.
The mandate for the African negotiators may not be achieved. The pushback from the big countries frustrated their efforts, but they remain unwilling to sign a document that will be to the continent's detriment. Noma Bolani, SABC News, Madrid, Spain.